Let's be brutally honest for a second. How many of you have started a compost pile with the best intentions, only for it to turn into a sad, wet, smelly lump that you avoid for the rest of the year? You read the instructions, turn it every week, balance your greens and browns, monitor the temperature. It starts to feel like a second job, a job that smells bad. What if I told you there was a method, perfected by some of the most productive and self-sufficient gardeners in American history, that requires no bin, no turning, and almost no thought? A method so simple, it's almost criminal. Today, we're stealing a page from the Shakers, a community that elevated simplicity to a spiritual principle, and we're applying it to creating black gold for your survival garden. The Shakers were famous for their craftsmanship and their agriculture. They needed to feed their communities efficiently and sustainably. They didn't have time for fussy, high-maintenance systems. Their entire philosophy was based on utility and simplicity. So, their approach to composting wasn't to build a monument to decomposition in the corner of the yard. It was to work with the existing system, the soil itself. Their method is so straightforward, it feels like you're getting away with something. I call it the dig, bury, forget method, but there's a brilliant, lazy genius to it. All right, let's start with a riddle. What is it that is made best when ignored, grows while it rots, and feeds the future by burying the past? Think about it. We'll come back to the beautifully simple answer. First, let's dismantle the complexity. Modern composting is all about creating the perfect, hot, aerobic environment to break stuff down above ground. The Shaker method is anaerobic and happens in the ground. You are not building a pile. You are feeding the soil food web directly in its own dining room. Here's how it works. You have kitchen scraps, potato peels, coffee grounds, lettuce ends, eggshells. Instead of walking them to a bin, you walk them to your garden. You dig a trench. Not a massive canyon, just a ditch about a foot deep and a foot wide. You dump your scraps in, you cover them back up with the soil you just dug out, and then you walk away. That's it. You have just performed a complete act of composting. The soil insects, the bacteria, the worms, they will find it. They will process it. They will turn it into humus right there, exactly where you want your plants to grow next season. You've outsourced the labor to nature's workforce. It's the ultimate managerial move. Now, let's level it up with the lasagna or layer cake technique for the truly ambitious, lazy person. This is for when you have a dedicated bed you won't plant in for a season. In the fall, after you pull your last plants, you don't let the bed sit empty. You start layering. First, a layer of browns, fallen leaves, shredded newspaper, straw. Then, a layer of greens, your kitchen scraps, grass clippings, old plants. Then another layer of browns. You're essentially making a giant flat lasagna of compost ingredients right on the garden bed. Then, you let the winter rain and snow press it down. The frost will break cell walls. The earthworms will move in and start pulling the material down. By spring, you won't believe the transformation. You'll have rich, crumbly soil, teeming with life, without having turned a single forkful. It's like making your garden bed its own blanket that it eats in its sleep. But why does this work so well? 2 words: earthworm paradise. When you bury organic matter directly in the soil, you are building a 5-star resort for earthworms. They smell the food, they tunnel to it, they eat it, and their castings, worm poop, are the single best fertilizer on the planet. A trench of scraps is a worm recruitment drive. They'll aerate your soil, create drainage channels, and fertilize it, all for the price of some old carrot tops. A tumbler or a hot pile might kill worm eggs. A cool, buried feast invites them. Okay, riddle time. The answer is, of course, a trench compost, or more poetically, the Shaker's lazy gold. You are now officially a member of the efficient, non-fussy gardeners club. Let's talk about the strategic prepper application of this, because that's why we're here. Imagine a long-term situation. Your bagged fertilizer runs out. Your store-bought compost is gone, but you still have food waste, weeds, leaves, and human nutrient byproducts. The Shaker method allows you to continuously cycle waste into fertility right where you need it. securing your soil's future. You can dedicate a fertility trench between rows of growing plants. You can create compost pockets by digging holes near fruit trees and burying scraps there. You are building soil resilience discreetly and continuously. It's a quiet, ongoing act of food security that flies under the radar. The beauty of this method is its forgiveness. No ratios to remember. If it's too wet and smelly, the next time you bury a load, mix in some dry leaves or shredded paper in the trench. If it's too dry, add more veggie scraps. The soil will balance it out. You are collaborating with nature, not trying to dominate a biochemical process in a plastic box. So, this week, I want you to do one thing. Take your next bowl of kitchen scraps, walk to a corner of your garden, dig a hole, dump it, cover it, and forget it. You've just started. You've just begun the most important and laziest revolution in your garden's life. You're not just disposing of waste, you're planting fertility. And that might be the smartest, simplest prep you ever do.